Now, for all of you that were lucky enough to be able to place an order for my ever first signature tool called Refiner in the first batch before the shop closed, I have some good news, and that is that the remaining 70 tools, 70 refiners has finally arrived, and I'll be showing you a little glimpse of how I go through production of refining DH and sharpen them, and also I'll give you an update on the next batch and what will change in the future. Now, since I don't have too much of flat horizontal surfaces in my shop, what I've done is taken the first 20 of 70 remaining refiners, and I'm going to prep them, sharpen them, pack them into boxes, get them ready for shipping, and I'll hand it over to post office, and then I'll take the next 20 and so on until I complete these 70 refiners, these 70 orders. And I estimate that it will take me roughly 1 week to complete all of these 70 tools and send them out. Now I'm going to show you quickly how I go through this process on 1 or 2 refiners, and just to show you, this is how they come straight out of the package, straight from Crown, and this is what I call factory grind and or factory profile. So the first thing that I do always is wipe away any grease. I call that traveling grease to prevent rusting. So I wipe away that with a rag with WD-40 in it, and that does the job really nicely. So there are factory grind, there is grinder burr and pull burr, so whichever customer will opt for, I will sharpen to that specification. And now this is, like I said, factory grind, so all I'm doing on this one is just cleaning up the blade, and you will get the rounded corners here and a rough profile of refiner with 45 degrees here, so you can dial this whichever shape you want. So that's factory profile. So this one can go back into its pouch to the customer that stated that he wants this profile, and I can focus on remaining of these 19 refiners to get grinder or pull burr. I like to use 80 grit CBN wheel to get really close to final profile of refiner that I like to use, and then I switch to 180 grit CBN wheel with the platform to get nice consistent bevel for you. And also I'll be doing sharpening of the grinder burr on this 180 grit CBN wheel. So I like to find the bevel. I'm using my fingers here as a tool rest sort of, and once I find the bevel, I'm moving my body around and I'm changing the shape a little bit. Okay, so you can see for the moment this doesn't look too pretty on the bevel, but we're going to fix that on the platform. But this is really close to desired profile on refiner. So I'll go now to 180 grit, keeping it nice and flat on the platform. Now I'm doing final shape that I like to use for my refiner. A little more. So now you can see nice clean single facet bevel, 45 degrees roughly, and you can see the final shape of refiner. Now the next stage is to get the notch here, and I'll show you how I do that. Now I'll do my best not to bump the camera because this is the only place I could for the moment put the phone so you can see what's actually happening. So I'm placing the refiner like so. This will be flat. I'm just making a little angle like so, and the length of the notch will be roughly 4 mil, give or take. So that's it. I'll show you a little bit closer so you can see now the single facet bevel here and the notch here. So the rounded portion here will sort of prevent you to have a nice sharp corner like we have here with the notch. So now you can use this corner here from the notch to make details, and I'll show you that once I test out each of these refiners. Now the next step that I like to do is just give a little polish on maybe 1 or 2 inches from the edge, so around 50 mil, and for that I'm using this 400 grit sandpaper and on the lathe bed of the lathe, and just flip it upside down, keep it nice and flat. And again, I don't go too far in because with time as you use the tool you will get further down. So for the moment I'm only focusing around 50 mil or 2 inches, so keep it nice and flat. Just a few seconds is all that it takes, and you can now see if the camera will focus. There we go. So nice flat and clean top portion of the scraper. Now if this one refiner here is opted with pulled burr, I would still go through this step and get a nice sharp final edge and burr. So now that's really nice and sharp. But now the next step for pull burr is removing this burr and pull it up with a burnisher, and I'll show you that in a few seconds. This one is grinder burr. Nice and slowly. So I feel all the way around nice sharp burr, really nice. So this is grinder burr straight from the grinder wheel. This is 400 grit well used sandpaper, and again this has grinder burr on, but I'm going to flip it over for the pull burr, take away that burr, just a few strokes. Now it's nice and flat, and what I'm going to do, this same step for all of these 4. I have here my burnisher, and I'm going to pull the burr on this refiner here. So the way I like to do this first is keeping the burnisher nice and flat on the blade. So again, nice and flat, and just give it a few rubs along the edge. So that will do for you that it will extend the burr here that is now created. It will extend it past the edge here. And now what I like to do is find the bevel. So this is finding the bevel, and I want to raise it a couple of degrees so you can see daylight underneath the bottom heel of the bevel, and I'll just pull it on up, sort of upward stroke. And for the you don't want to do this too much, so only 2 pulls is good enough. So 1 and 2, because if you do it multiple times, it can get really aggressive, and we don't want that. So again, for this one, again, the procedure is quite fast. Again, I'm using this rag on burnisher rod just because it has WD-40 in it and so on. It glides a little bit easier. Old masters would spit on the blade, but I don't do that. So again, finding the bevel and just one stroke, two stroke, and that's nice sharp pulled burr. And now we're going to test these. So I have a block of maple in the screw chuck, and first I'm going to test out these pulled burrs. And that's working really lovely. Next one. Four of these pull burr refiners are okay, and I'm happy with them, so they can get protection on the edge and they can go in a package. So I'll show you the grinder burr as well. Now if you wonder how I know which is pull burr and which is grinder burr, I separate them at this stage so I don't get mixed up. So grinder burr, that's looking lovely, also lovely. And I like to check like this, try it out, because again, I'm human and I can make an error as well, so I just want to make sure that it's working as it should. So, a few more to test out, but you get the idea how I do this process. So, let me give you an update on next batch. Now, like I said, I'm going to give my best to send out these remaining 70 refiners from the first batch within a week or so, so you can expect a tracking number and tracking link quite soon in your email. Now, regarding the future batches of my signature tools, I've done a little bit of change with the crown, so there won't be any pre-order anymore, at least for now. So what we're going to do is, they already started, before they even send these 70 to me, they already start the batch of 150 tools. Now there will be 50 refiners, 50 half-inch or 12mm diameter ball gouges, and 50 16mm or 5/8 diameter ball gouges. Ball gouges are M42 steel, so 150 of those tools are already in the making, so they should arrive, hopefully, if everything goes smoothly, within a month or a month and a half, up to 2 months. So they're going to give their best to speed it up as much as they can, but some processes cannot be speed up. So now the reason behind this major change is actually quite simple, and I don't think it's fair enough to you guys, to my viewers, to my supporters, to my customers, that even though you pay for the tool, that you have to constantly wait for it to be made. It's a lot of stress on me, a lot of stress on Crown as well, but also a lot of stress on you. So I think this new way will be much simpler, much better option. So once I have these 150 tools in a making in my possession, I'll open up the store, and then you will be able to place an order just like any other store. It's a little bit different because, again, these tools are custom made, so they are not finished by any means, but I think at the end of the day, it will be much better option. So keep an eye on YouTube videos, on Facebook and Instagram posts when I announce that these 150 tools, the next batch of my signature tools, arrived and available. So keep an eye on the social media. So thank you again for watching. Thank you again for purchasing in the first batch these refiners, and again I'm really grateful, and thank you very much, and see you in the next video.